Okay, in the last lecture, in the root locus, we discussed about three rules we are having. We discussed the three rules are that first one is roots on the we need to identify the poles and zeros, location of poles and zeros on the real axis. That means on the S plane. The second is that determine the root locus on the real axis. And third one we discussed about an angle of asymptotes and centroid. Right? How many angle of asymptotes will be there is nothing but number of poles minus number of zeros. That we call it as an angle of asymptotes. And next one we are having a centroid. In the centroid, what is meant by an centroid is nothing but the meeting point of asymptotes, we call it as a centroid. There are having three asymptotes or four asymptotes. That asymptotes will be going to gonna start from the centroid. Uh, we calculated that thing. Next one is we are having a breakaway point. The fourth step is the first step for the root locus. Already discussed. First step is location of poles and zeros. That is the first step. Second step is the first step location of poles and zeros. Second one is determine the root locus on the real axis. Determine the root locus on the real axis. That is the second step. And third step is the what is the third step? Angle of asymptotes. And third step is angle of asymptotes and centroid. Angle of asymptotes and centroid. That is the third step. Angle of asymptotes and centroid. Now, fourth step we are going to find out. That is a breakaway point. Fourth step is that breakaway point. What is a breakaway point? Breakaway point is nothing but it is a point on the root locus. It is a point on the root locus. Where the multiple roots of the characteristic equation occurs for a particular value of k. Breakaway point is nothing but it is a point on the root locus. For example, I am having a root locus like this. Breakaway, the name itself we are having a breakaway. Right. This is a root locus. What is that the mean that root locus means on the root locus we are having now. Which one is this is a no root locus part. This is the point of a root locus. Right. This is a root locus part. You know that why? Because for example, if you are considering this particular point on the right hand side of that particular point, only one pole is there, that is an arc, so that the root locus will be existing. How many paths we are going to get? 2 paths we are going to get. Every pole will be every pole will be starting with that pole, that means in every root locus branch. You need to keep in mind whenever we are discussing about root locus. The root locus, how many root locus branches will be there means the number of root locus branches will be equal to the number of poles. For example, you are having 3 poles, so that you are having 3 root locus branches. Here, how many poles are there? 2 poles are there. That means that the pole is represented with a cross mark. 2 poles are there. We are going to represent it like this. If there are 2 poles, so that we are having 2 root locus branches. The 2 root locus branches will be travels from will be going to be travel from that particular pole to 0. Every root locus will be going to an the root locus will be end set starts the root locus branch will be start at pole and end set 0. The pole will it will be going to start at pole and end at 0. The pole will be going to start at pole and end set 0. So it will be going to be travel. Now in which direction it will be going to enter? Definitely it will become in the root locus. Again this 2 will becomes to this. Again what will happen? This pole and that particular pole both are will be going to collide with each other. Why? Because there is if we go on this side there is no root locus path. If you are coming to this side there also no root locus path. Only the path will be present in this between the two poles, so that one pole is coming to meet its friend, that is at a 0, right? If there is no 0 it will be at infinity, that is different story, right? It is the root locus, this point will be tries to move to this particular point, it will be going to be traveling, this also will be traveling this, both are coming in this opposite direction, and what particular point that we will be going to collide with each other, and we are going to deviate with some angle like this. That particular point we call it as a breakaway point. That particular point we call it as a breakaway point. That's only the breakaway point definition is that breakaway point is a point on the root locus. The breakaway point is a point on the root locus. Points on the root locus where multiple roots of the characteristic equation, for a particular value of k, Now how we are going to find that breakaway point? That means that we are having some procedure to find the breakaway point. Here we are going to explain that rule number 4. It is the procedure of breakaway point. Procedure of breakaway point. What is the procedure of breakaway point is? First one you need to consider the first step in a procedure of breakaway point. You need to take the characteristic equation 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. From this equation, separate the terms involving k and terms involving s. Write the value of k in terms of s. Here, all the root locus will be depends upon the value of k. In your problem also he will mention like this, k divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2, like this he will give, which is equal to your c of s by r of s value. From this you need to find out 1 plus g of s into h of s. So whenever you are finding the 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0, from this 1 plus g of s into h of s, it may be consisting of some s terms. So you need to replace that k is equal to like this, minus s square plus 2s plus 1. That means you need to separate the k terms from the s terms. K terms you need to write on one side and s terms you need to write on another side. Once if you are getting the k value, then you need to find out dk by ds is equal to 0. After getting first you need to consider what we need to consider. First we need to consider the characteristic equation. The characteristic equation is 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. From that you need to find out the k value. That means I separate the test terms, all that only k is equal to the value of k is in terms of s. Once if you are getting any k value, then we need to find out dk by ds and equate it to 0. Once if you equate it to dk by ds is equal to 0, then use that dk by ds value. If you are doing like that, then you are getting an dk by ds is equal to 0. That means which value we are going to get? S value we are going to get. That S value we call it as a breakaway point. That S value we call it as a breakaway point. You are getting some S value here. If you are substituting this s value here, yeah, once if you are applying the differential equation dk by ds is equal to 0, then you are getting some expression. For example, you check minus s square plus 2s plus 1, that is our k value. Now if you are applying this thing, what you are going to get, minus 2s plus 2 equal to 0. So what is an s value? You are going to minus 2s is equal to minus 2, s is equal to 1 you are going to get. This is your breakaway point actually. Whether this breakaway point is valid or not, how we know that? You need to substitute that s is equal to 1 here. Now you substitute 1. 1 means k equal to 1 s square minus s square means s plus 1, that means minus 1 plus 2 plus 1. How much you are going to get? Plus 2 you are going to get. K is equal to plus 2. K value is a positive, so the system. So this breakaway point is valid. This breakaway point is valid. First we need to identify that. The first step is procedure of a breakaway point is that first we need to write that characteristic equation. The characteristic equation is that 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. That is that the characteristic equation. From the given transfer function only we are going to get. Once if you are getting that equation, then you need to find out then we need to find out that k value. K value is in terms of s we need to find out that we are going to get k is equal to minus s square plus 2s plus 1. For example, I consider once if you are getting the k value all in terms of s, then immediately we need to find out dk by ds. What is our dk by ds value? Whatever we are going to get, the dk by ds value you compared with 0, then you are going to get s value. Dk by ds, from that we are going to get s value. Once if you are getting the s value, so you need to substitute that s value in the kth equation. If the value of k is positive, then that breakaway point is valid. Then the breakaway point is valid. Next one, point of intersection on the imaginary axis. Right? The same point of the step rule 4 is clear. Procedure of a breakaway point. We are going to get like this. Up to 4 rules will complete. First rule is location of poles and zeros. The second rule is the determination of root locus on the real axis. And third one we are having finding of a centroid and angle of a centroid. And fourth one is a procedure of breakaway point. How we are going to find that breakaway point. This is the things we are having. The next rule is that point of intersection. Point of intersection on the imaginary axis. Point of intersection on the imaginary axis. Point of intersection on the imaginary axis. What is a point of intersection on the imaginary axis? Is nothing but we are having this thing. Now you concluded that these two poles are collide here. They are going to break away in this direction. They are going to travel like this. This we call it as a point of intersection on the imaginary axis. Whenever in the last point we are having one breakaway point is there. The two poles will be going to collide with each other, and then they are going to be traveling in this direction. And two poles will be going to touches to that imaginary axis. At which point it will be going to be touches. That is important. Again, we need to find out that 1 plus g of s procedure to find the point of intersection. Procedure is that we need to find out 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. We need to find out 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. First thing we need to find out. and construct the route array in terms of k. Construct the route array. Construct a route array. How we are going to find out the route array? We are going to get 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. This equation is completely in terms of k or not? Why? Because the transfer function is in terms of k we are going to get. For example, the transfer function is you are going to get like this: s square plus 2s plus k equal to 0. Then you need to construct an route array. Route array, what we are going to get? What is the coefficient here? 1. And next is minus k. What is this value? 2 into k. 2k minus 2k minus 0. Okay, here we are going to get k. What is this k? That k value we need to find out. How we are going to find out the k value? Determine k marginal. That is the value of k which creates one of the rows of the route array as row of zeros except the rows of s of 0. What he is telling that except this row, that means if you are having for example, it's better to take s cube, not s square, to get clear understanding. We need to take this is the procedure how we are going to find the point of intersection. For this, I am going to take s cube plus 4s square plus 3s plus k. Now it is better to understand. Okay, s cube plus 4s square plus 3s plus k. Now what is the s cube coefficient? We need to write down s cube, s square and s power 0. What is the s cube coefficient? 1, 3, right? S cube coefficient after the s coefficient. S square coefficient is 4, 2. 4 and k. Now what you are going to get? 4 into 3, 12. 12 minus k. 12 minus k divided by 4. Now what is this term? This is no term. Here 0. Here we are going to get some 4. Now how we are going to find the k value? K value need to take 12 minus k by 4 must be greater than 0. To become the stable, this value must be positive or not? To become this value, the k value must be positive. So, what we are going to get? Greater than or equal to k. That means that 12 minus k is greater than or equal to 0. From that we are going to get k. 12. This we call it as an k value. Once if we are getting a k value, what is that k value we are going to calculate? That is a marginally stable. After once if we are getting that marginally k value, then you need to write down. If the k value is 12, this will become completely 0 row. 0 row means you definitely need to apply what we need to apply? Auxiliary equation in route array. That means that we need to apply 4s square plus k equal to 0. 4s square plus k equal to 0. What is the k value? What is the k value? You need to substitute 4s square plus k is equal to 0. From that you are going to get s square is equal to minus 12 by 4. What is that minus 12 by 4? 4, 3. S square is equal to plus or minus 3. That means that you are going to get some s values on the imaginary axis. At that particular point only, we can deviate our root locus. That means that a very simple procedure. Whenever we are telling that two things is made, first one is a concept of a breakaway point, and next one is a concept of a point of intersection. Point of intersection. How we are going to find the point of intersection? That is very important. Point of intersection on the imaginary axis. That means first we need to find out 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. Once if we are getting this value, we are going to again we need to write down that route array. Once if we are writing that route array, then we need to find out a marginal k value. 12 minus k divided by 4, which is greater than or equal to 0. From that we are going to get all these expressions. Once if you are getting this value, you need to take 12 minus k. To satisfy this criteria, you need to take 12 minus k by 4 must be greater than or equal to 0. Then you are getting a k value. Once if you are getting a k value 0, then you need to apply the auxiliary equation. 4s square plus k. From that we are going to get yes. S value you need to identify at that particular point. on the imaginary axis. That S value must be an imaginary point only. This whatever we derive, that S point is must be an imaginary point only. Okay, this is your point of intersection. Point of intersection. Next, point of intersection. This is a point of intersection in a web locus. Next, we are having the next point is the angle of departure and angle of arrival. The next last rule is that angle of departure. The last rule. Rule number 6. We discussed 5 rules. First rule is an location of poles and zeros. Second rule is root locus on the real axis. Third rule is that what is the third rule? Third rule we discussed about that. What is the third rule we discussed? Angle of asymptotes and centroid combination both. And fourth rule is we discussed about an breakaway point, right? Breakaway point. And fifth rule we are having an fifth rule is that angle of departure. No, fifth rule is point of intersection. Breakaway point, point of intersection. And last rule is that angle of departure, angle of departure, and angle of arrival. Angle of departure, departure, angle of departure. That is point. Angle of departure. What is an angle of departure? Phi d. Phi d. When we are going to having an angle of departure. Angle of departure only we are having in the case whenever you are having a complex poles. Whenever you are having complex poles, whenever we are having a complex pole, then only we are having an angle of departure. If there is no complex pole, there is no complex poles, then we are not going to discuss about that angle of departure. Only if there is a complex pole in a given transfer function. Complex is nothing but what is that? Is the pole. For example, you are having a pole is 0, 1, 2, minus 2 plus 3. How many poles? 4 poles are there. Here 0, 1, 2, no problem, all are here. But the thing is, you are having a minus 2 plus 3. This is a complex value. So, whenever the pole is a complex value, then we are going to find out an angle of departure. If there is no poles, complex poles, then we are not going to find any angle of departure. To find that angle of departure, we are having one formula, that is phi d. We are going to represent that phi d is equal to 180 minus 5. 180 minus 5. Angle of departure is nothing but at that particular pole, with how much angle the root locus will be going to a departure. That we call it as an angle of departure. That means phi d equal to 180 minus 5, where phi is equal to, again we need to know that where phi is equal to sigma phi p minus sigma phi j. Sigma phi p minus sigma phi j. Sigma phi p is nothing but contribution by the angle made by, this is a sigma phi p is equal to summation of angles made by poles. Summation of angles made by poles. All poles. Next one, summation of phi z is equal to summation of angles made by zeros. Here that is an zeros and that is an poles, and this is an zeros. And next one we are having an angle of arrival. Angle of arrival. Angle of arrival, when we are having an angle of arrival, whenever we are having a complex zeros. Already we told that the root locus is nothing but in a root locus, whatever the poles are there, that poles are going to when it tries to towards to 0. Here angle of arrival is nothing but at that particular 0 with how much angle that root locus branch will be arise. That we call it as an angle of arrival. That is an formula phi a is equal to 180 plus 180 plus 5. There we are having an 180 minus 5, that is an angle of departure. Here we are having an angle of arrival, phi a is equal to 180 plus 5. Here 180 plus 5, again where phi is equal to same thing, sigma summation of poles minus angle of poles minus summation of zeros. Same thing, summation of angle made by all poles minus summation of angle made by all zeros. Summation of poles minus summation of zeros we are, right? This is an angle of arrival and angle of departure concept. Just for all problems we are not going to find out angle of arrival and angle of departure. Just we are going to find that angle of arrivals and angle of departures only in the case, what is that case? In any given transfer function, if you are having any complex poles, then you have to discuss about the angle of departure. In your given transfer function, if you are having any complex zero, then we are going to discuss about the angle of arrival. These are the rules of an root locus. There are 6 rules we explained. The first rule is that means a location of poles and zeros on the real axis. Second thing, we are having a root locus, determine the root locus on the real axis. How we are going to find that determine the root locus on the real axis is nothing but how we are going to find out is nothing but, that means you need to find out how many poles and zeros on the right half of that particular element we need to identify, right? If it is an odd number in between the two particular points, the root locus will be exist. Otherwise, there will be no root locus. Similarly, the third step is finding the asymptotes and the centroid. What is the formula to find that asymptotes is nothing but asymptote is nothing but theta is equal to 2q plus 1 into 180 divided by p minus z. And next one, how we are going to find that centroid is nothing but summation of poles minus summation of zeros by number of poles minus number of zeros. And next step we are having what is the fourth step we discuss? Breakaway point. Breakaway point we are having one procedure, that is first we need to take 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. That means 1 plus g of s into h of s is equal to 0. From that we need to find the k value. K is equal to, we are going to get what is that value, k value. Once if you are getting a k value, then we need to find out dk by ds value. Once if you are getting a dk by ds value, from that we are going to find that s value we are going to get, s is equal to so and so we are going to get. That s value we need to again into substituting the k. If the value of k is positive, then the system is, then that particular breakaway point is a valid breakaway point. After that we are having a point of intersection. Point of intersection is nothing but the root locus branch at which point on the imaginary axis it will be going to be a crosses. That we call it as a point of intersection. That thing also we calculated by using a row theory. By using a row theory we calculated. Right? We are taking all the values at the k marginal we calculated. From that k marginal we are going to find out the root locus on the imaginary axis. Next, next last step is we are having an angle of departure and angle of arrival. Angle of departure is nothing but how we are going to find out phi d. Phi d means angle of departure. When we are going to find out that angle of departure is nothing but whenever we are having a complex zeros, then only we can find the angle of departure. Whenever we are having complex poles, if we are having a complex pole, then we are going to find out an angle of departure. Angle of departure formula 180 minus phi. Similarly, whenever we are having a complex zeros, then we are going to find the angle of error. The formula is phi equal to 180 plus